Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Thursday night business preview. Excited to have you guys with us tonight. And first of all, let me know if somebody would throw it up in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hopefully you can. That would be super helpful. And I see that we've got some of our friends over here in the YouTube stream as well. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. That way I can make sure that there is actually good sound happening. And good to see you tonight, Portia, Maria, Carmen. Awesome to have you on tonight. Let me see if this is actually working and you can see me. Hopefully you can. Yes. Okay, great. Perfect. Good to see you tonight, Rebecca, Richard, Madeline. Awesome. Alberto. And I know we have some more people joining in, so it's great to have you guys tonight. Tonight, we are fortunate to have an amazing guest presenter with us. This gentleman comes to us from South Florida. He's actually coming to us from the Miami area, originally from the Dominican Republic. But let me just give you a little bit of his background. As you know, if you are a guest this evening, you're coming to talk about living life on your own terms, doing something to give you more out of life without it completely consuming your life. And that's the business we're going to be talking about tonight. And the gentleman that's going to be with us, he and his wife, Michelle, have built a beautiful business. And they have a couple of amazing daughters, a couple of grandchildren, believe it or not. Alberto is very passionate about several things in his life, family being one of them. He loves to swim. He's a competitive swimmer. He has a variety of other things that he does. He's a businessman, investor, a variety of other things. But he's going to talk to us tonight about a business that I would say in many ways has helped him to live life completely differently than the way he started. And even the way that he was even told to start his life by his family when he first grew up. So with that, Alberto, can we have you jump in? We will get this kicked off, and I'll let you introduce yourself. And good to have you tonight. Thanks for being here.
How you doing, Ken? It's always a pleasure to be here with this great e-commerce team, English e-commerce team, and a humble opportunity, a humble experience to be asked to show my passion. This business is a very important part of my life and Michelle's, my wife, life. This is a very important part of our family. I'm 54 years old and I've been 31 years into this, so
Unbelievable.
now you know.
Yeah, unbelievable. And let me throw your slide deck up here. I'll get these going. And maybe you could tell us a little bit more about yourself as we get started. And then I'll let you just jump into this so that if somebody, we've got business owners that are on here. Some of them know you well. Some of them maybe don't know you very well. We have
Of
others on
course.
here this evening that could be with guests or might be watching through our YouTube stream right now. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and I'll hop off so you can get going.
Thank you, Ken. I'm an industrial engineer by education. I went to one of the best colleges in the Dominican Republic for engineering. In my mind, my early 20s, I was an engineer very, very young. I was like 21 years old. And in my mind, I was going to have a big steel structures shop. That was my dream. That was what I thought that I was going to be building, because I worked in a big company, a big shop, and learned that business. Later on, I understood that is very difficult to have a big business without money, without capital. I ended up with a lot of debt, but a lot of uh, good learning, a lot of good lessons that I learned from life and from business and finances. But instead of decide not to keep pursuing the entrepreneurial life, when I met this business, when I was introduced to this business in May 1992, I knew that I had found something that I wanted to build for a couple of reasons. One of them was that there was not a lot of capital needed because I didn't have any. And the other one was that I was gonna be teached. I was going to be mentored, and I knew that I needed that because I felt I felt the lack of mentorship, the lack of having somebody to talk to in my first try as an entrepreneur. So when they said that I was gonna be taught by people who have done it before, and they were not going to charge me for that, I'm like, oh my god, this is it. Let's do it. Even being a business completely different. It was like a commercial business, and always in my mind I had technical businesses. I have a technical degree, so I always thought about chops. Any kind of building something. But the last 30 years have been amazing because um, at the beginning we learn a lot. We changed completely the way we thought, the way we um, process everything that happened around us and how life uh, functions, and that started to give us like a better perspective of life, a better relationship with my wife, a better relationship with my daughter. In that time it was only one, now I have two. And that was the first real gift that we received from the business. Later on, we were able to pay all our debt. We were able to save like a year of expenses, and we were making like three times with our business that more than we were making in our jobs. If you put together Michelle's and mine, we were doing three times because I had to look for a job later on. That's a long story. But the thing is that since 2002, it's been 20 years, me and Michelle, we've been living on our own terms. We've been planning our days, our weeks, and our years based on what is important for us. We've been making decisions based on our families' values and on our families' objectives. I don't have to agree with any company's policy. I used to get crazy about the company policies where I work. Let's do this. No, it's against the company policy. But my God, but this is gonna give you growth. Wow, but it's against the company policy. Man. So the company's policy is my policy. It's me and Michelle's. We say when we work. We say when we don't. We say when we travel. We say when we stay. Sometimes we decide not to take vacations where most people are taking vacations because everywhere is too crowded, and then we go on vacations when nobody is on vacation. One of the things that I love the most is whenever our kids, when I say our kids, I'm talking about my 15-year-old and my two grandkids. Whenever they don't go to school, we are we're in free time. We're on vacation. So on summers it's like I work like 10% of the time. And this is part of living on our terms. And that is exactly what I believe you will like the most about this opportunity. So do you want me to go ahead and keep with the presentation, or you want to ask me any some other question?
No, I would say go ahead and get started. I would, you know, there's so much that we can say about a business like this, Alberto. And I know we have a few slides that you can go through to kind of help keep us on track. But I was thinking about this, right? You were talking
I
about
love to have a conversation a lot better than the slides.
so I tell you, I was talking to a gentleman today, and I was out this morning. I try to, one of the things I enjoy doing is going for a walk, listening to a podcast or an audio or something like that. It's part of kind of a daily routine for me. And on my way back in, I don't know, it was like 10 o'clock this morning, something like that. And I bumped into a neighbor that I had not met before. And I've seen him around. He's lived in the neighborhood a couple, 2 or 3 years. And I actually stopped to introduce myself. He was out with his dogs. And I started talking to him, chit chatting, whatever. And I asked him what he did for a living. And he said he was between jobs right now. and which I thought was kind of unusual. That was interesting. You don't meet very many people that say something like that. He was about my
Hmm.
age, and he said that he was working for a company selling boats. Not a big surprise. We live in South Florida. People do that here.
Hmm.
And what he told me was that people buy boats in the evenings after work or on Saturdays. That's when
Hmm.
they shop for boats. And he says boat sales have been really down. They basically stopped here in South Florida because of the interest rates. And that even people with really good credit, the interest rate's like 8.5%. Even people with 800 and something credit, 815 credit, are getting 8.5 interest rate. So they put down a bunch of money, then they do a big monthly payment. That's typically how people are buying the boats that he was selling.
Hmm.
And not necessarily the best way to buy a boat. First of all, just letting everybody here know, because boat
Hmm.
is a toy, right? So that is not the best way to finance a toy for 15 years. And so we're talking about that, and he told me that what was going on is, he's been over there sitting in that office waiting for people to come in to sell a boat, and nobody was coming in. The market just kind of dried up, and the problem was for him is that he's also likes to coach his sons and be very involved in helping his son, who's in college, play baseball. And the
Hmm.
time that his son plays his games is Fridays and Saturdays, and so he was totally missing it, and he was super frustrated, so he quit his job. And I think it kind of leads in to some of what we're seeing today. People are looking for something different.
Exactly.
And he looked around and he said, what, my life is not, um, this job that I have is just not working for me anymore. And he moved
Because the thing is, Ken, that people are getting more and more aware of what is quality of life. It's not about only the income. It's about being able of work from anywhere. Now they know that they can work from anywhere. Okay, and there's all these new things that the people know that they can do based on social media, based on internet, based on all these apps that are out there. And I believe that people's resistance, or not resistance, that's not the word that I'm looking in English, people's strength to cope with that kind of job that is that hard on them has been reduced a lot. Um, there are some studies around that says that after some amount of money, people prefer not to make more money but to have more time.
I believe it.
Okay,
I believe it.
if you're making 20,000 a year, you need more money, But
Listen, how many people um, find themselves struggling with that very issue, right? Because they're beholden to normal, right? And normal is um, kind of the conformity of whatever occupation you have. And
exactly,
so that does not lend itself to having flexibility, because
exactly,
it's not about you.
exactly. And most people are looking for ways of do some kind of side hustle, and some of them are looking for a way of making a little bit more of money, but some others are looking for a way of making more money, but in a way that can convert into a new profession. That's what we did. We changed professions. Okay, I was an engineer. Now I'm a business owner. It's a different, completely different profession. But you see, nowadays you can run into anybody and they say, I'm driving for Lyft. I'm driving for whatever. I'm driving for Uber, or I am selling. Uh, if you go, I'm a lot into Instagram, as you know, and the number of accounts of Instagram profiles of people who are selling their knowledge or their service, um, marketing, marketing coaching, financial coaching, personal growth coaching, leadership coaching. I can do your taxes. I can be your virtual assistant. It's amazing.
It is.
Okay, and the thing with all these opportunities that people found out there uh, is that if you will put it like in a equation, it will be like independence is a desire for more plus an opportunity for extra income plus I am willing to put some skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with that is that independence is not the same as freedom. you know, when you're independent like that, you're still in the time is money model.
And,
Okay,
and
the
and you
more
know what? You know what I'd say about that? I think most businesses, even the business we're talking about here, all businesses, they start out with having to put skin in the game. It starts out with effort. You've got to, there is a certain amount of knowledge you have to learn as you get going in something. There's this unknown that you've got to figure out. Um, there's effort that you have to put in, but most of the way people do that is is in a way that's not flexible. Like, yes,
exactly.
you can do the yeah, some sort of um, driving, right? Not everybody does that, but some people do that. The problem is the way to make the most money is when you work at the peak hours, right? If you want to have a rental property, location, that is critical. And then you've got to manage it, and then you've got to advertise it, and then you have to invest a lot into it before you can get out of that sort of deal. And it's hard to get to the point where you can make leverage work for yourself. And that's why, the slide you've got up right here is perfect, because what we know, what the pandemic put the cherry on top of the sundae for, was hustle harder is not the goal, right? No doubt about it.
When people start, they don't mind to hustle harder. It's even because I remember it's exciting. I am hustling, I'm going somewhere
That's true.
after a year of sleeping 6 hours a day and finish your job and then work another 4 hours. You're like, man, where the hell I'm going? What is this? Okay,
And so,
because
what are those things missing?
control. That is exactly where I was going. If you if you look at those at that equation, there is one variable missing. The first one we presented, and that variable is control. I don't mind to put skin in the game, knowing that after I make that work, I will have a system and I will be able to leverage myself, so I don't have to be there 8, 12 hours a day. That I will be able to have a business that can allow me to work from anywhere, have a low risk. Because if I have a lot of capital invested, there's no way you're sleeping completely well. You're preoccupied all the time,
And you know
and
what? And if you have a lot of capital invested, chances are it's not low risk.
that's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
And
So
and here's something
and
else, Alberto. Most people don't have capital to invest. The average family.
that is another thing.
Yeah, listen, the average family right now is shaking their head every time they leave the grocery store, because they're wondering why, stuff costs 30% more than it did a year ago. That's how it
Hmm.
feels.
Hmm.
And people are wondering why everything else keeps increasing too, whether you're getting your car worked on, or your home insurance, or your rent, or whatever it is. And so that idea of even having the capital to do something, that's complicated.
It is. It is. And some people, when you call, uh, when you talk about investing any kind of capital in the times that we're living, it's high risk anyway. You see, and another thing is being able to get off the more hours equals more money. That is very important if you want to have a business where you can have control. Okay, so the thing, I don't want to get to the point of that there's no other way to make money. There's a lot of ways that you can make more money. The
Absolutely.
thing is that sometimes you are relying on inconsistent algorithm. And that is a very strong word in English for a Spanish guy. Algorithm.
Well,
you know, but
so the funny thing is, these algorithms is how these online systems work,
of
right?
course,
That's how.
I'm all the time in Instagram, and I can tell you every 2 weeks we need to find a way to do things differently with the algorithm. No, I can even have a bad word for him.
Yeah, well, and so you don't want to completely have to rely on something
Exactly.
like that to make
Or
yourself known, right? Because
or
that's
your availability can being you need to rely on your availability. So you need to stop doing something that you want to do because you need that time to take care of a customer, or to give your service, or to run your business. Hmm? You If you run a kind of business, you're back where you were. In the Now, instead of having a boss, your bosses are your customers and your employees. That is what I learned in my first business. And the amazing thing about this Amway opportunity is that gives you control because of this. They take care of all that has to be with infrastructure.
yeah,
They move the products, they
that's
they
exactly right.
they get the products, they better the products when they need to be updated, take some out and bring some new, update a formula. The other day I was watching a video, this guy talking about trying to sell a course on how you can say do FBA, do Amazon FBA. And it was so simple. You just need to open your account in Amazon and then go to Alibaba and find a product in China that you know that can be sold, and just buy the product, a lot of it, and put it in Amazon. And from there, you launch your store, and they will buy it, and Amazon will send it just like that. Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I have a friend who have an FBA, and we were in a boat the other day, and we were talking about he was telling me why he didn't have time to spend with people doing what we do, with doing what we do. And I asked him, how long you spend making yourself visible in Amazon. If I want to buy, do you buy Casio watches? Yes. If I type Casio watch in the search bar in Amazon, where is your store? Is it the first page? Is it page 100? Where are you? He's like, man, I've been working on that, man, 5 6 hours a night for the last 5 months, because I started very well. I started to sell a couple of $100 every day, but now it's been a year, and I'm not still selling just $200 every day. And I'm like, okay, the time you're spending with the algorithm, I'm spending building people. I'm spending helping people. It's the same time, you know, with the difference that once I teach somebody to make money, now he knows. I don't
So
have to go back.
so that's the interesting thing, right? So the business we're talking about, you just mentioned it's the Amway business. If you're a guest tonight, you may or may not have heard of it. The Amway business is all about health and wellness products. You know, we have a business that has over 350 products that are exclusive products that have been well researched, well developed, and are, like Alberto said, maintained and produced, shipped, etc., by the Amway Corporation. We don't have to touch, and they have a 180-day satisfaction guarantee. Very different than opening some of these other stores. And the big difference, you just mentioned it when you're talking about, doing something like Alibaba or something as your source for Amazon, or having some other online store. Here, we don't have to carry the products. I'm sorry, we carry the products virtually. We have access to anything we want from the lineup, but we don't have to store them.
And not only that, Ken, they teach you what I just shared with you, but then you need to have another course on how to find the right product. is that is a whole new world. How can I find the right product? And we already have that. The only thing that we need to do is the commercial part, sales to our customers, and create a team. You choose what type of products do you like. For me, it's very easy to talk about sport nutrition. Today, I'm in a new swimming team, in the Fort Lauderdale swimming team. I'm going 1 hour every Friday to swim with them because for me to keep growing, I need association. I need to be with some other people. So I train twice a week in here in FIU, but then drive up there once a week. And this is my second day. And one of them watched me shaking my butt after swimming. And we're talking old people here. I'm the youngest, and I'm 54. 60 something, 70 something. Some other people in their um, up high 40s. And they were, what are you drinking? And I'm saying, "Oh," and then I have learned, instead of telling them, I say, you don't have a muscle builder protein after your swim? Man, at this age, we're losing muscle. Yes, I know, man. What are you having? I'll send you a text. Give me your phone number. It's easy for me, and it's very easy for my wife. Most people don't believe her age. What do you use, Michelle? Okay, I can show it to you. Look at this app. So we choose what we want to talk about, and that is the specialty of the products that we sell. We set our schedule. We normally use nights because most people work on days, but there are people who work during night. You can do it during the day. Is the time that you want to use that you're going to be using. And another good thing is that you grow at your own pace. There's people who are ready to rock and roll. They want a change, and they want it now, and they can run with us. So there are some others that are planning to do something different, and they want to start doing this, take a look at it, and grow at their pace. It's okay because at the end of the day, what we want to do with you is to help you to advance. We don't care the speed. And before we finish, I want to compare our business opportunity, um, Ken, in two aspects, in two areas. One of them is the leverage, because this is very important. All successful businesses, they leverage themselves. And and the way that business owners leverage their business, most of them, is with capital. They use money to buy technology, resources like computers, software, machinery, trucks, warehouses, okay? And they leverage on that. And they leverage on people, human resources. They employ people with their money. We entrepreneurs, we don't have that capital to do that, okay, when we start. So instead of leverage in capital, we leverage in people by giving them the chance. And when you see their model, when you have a 1-to-1 ratio, you have one customer at a time. You have to sell one product to make one dime, whatever markup you have. It's transactional. Nobody's helping you. On the contrary, you have people on the competition trying to get you out of business. In our model, we don't have competition. We have a one to many ratio. Okay, and because we sell products that people already need, and they are just changing brands because, and you're gonna learn to do that. You're adding value. You're not
Hmm.
only selling them a product. You're giving them information. Okay, one of the lines that is working best for our people that I'm teaching them to sell is telling them, I don't want to sell you a bottle of vitamins. That's not what I want to do. That's what the guys in the pharmacy does. I want you to help you to understand where are your nutritional gaps. Let's fill up this wellness nutrition made from our company, and we will know what you need, and we can plan your supplementation for the year. What are you going to be having? And as soon as you say that, people start trust more in you because you don't want to sell them. You
You're,
want to
you're
teach them.
what they're seeing is that, and we've heard these type of things before, especially if you've been on any of the meetings here. We want to add value to people's lives, but it's people can sense when you are simply trying to sell them something or when you are authentically adding value to somebody's life. Like you said, if
Exactly.
it's just transactional and they're never going to see you again, or if you have the ability to create, if you can learn, which we can, to become a professional at something, then what happens is people look at you and they say, you know what, this is an authentic person who believes in his products or her products, is interested in my goals, in helping me achieve what I'm trying to achieve, and is genuinely looking to help me succeed in life. And something happens then, because that is very difficult for people to actually accomplish if you're just in the average, normal, um, everyday world. You certainly cannot achieve that in the typical um, reseller online type business model, because people
That
are
is
just clicking the next line for the next
exactly.
product, and they're looking at just the
Exactly.
prices and the shipping times and everything else. It's a completely different deal.
And that is what makes us so different. You have customers that are recurring, that they run out of their vitamin and they have to put, they need it again. They are willing to try some products from you because they have a relationship with you. They even ask you, Ken, I have my kid, he's having trouble with allergies. Do you have something for that? Yes, of course I have something for that. Let me send you information, not the product. Buy for me right away. No, no, let me send you the information about my product.
I,
Learn a little bit about it.
I got to
You
tell you
see?
this crazy story. I mentioned this to some of the people here. They might, they have heard this before. So one of the products we have is this great product called, um, it just
Clear
left my
guard?
mind. It's the sleep gummies. Okay.
Ah, sleep guard.
And it's this little purple container. It's got these little gummies in it, if you're not familiar with it. And they have a mix of, um,
Melatonin.
thank you. And but it's not just melatonin, right? It actually has some. Is it passion flower? There's some other stuff, and I don't have it sitting next to me here. I should run and go grab it. It's on my nightstand. But here's the point of this. It's a blend of supplements that, for me, has been very effective. I take a couple of them about half an hour before I go to bed, and I find that I sleep better at night. I don't wake up in the middle of the night. I don't sleep. I just sleep well. And you probably don't have this problem because you swim too much, and so you're so tired after you swim, you actually
I,
sleep
I
really well.
I sleep like a baby.
But for the rest of us mere mortals that are not out there swimming miles, so I'm having this conversation with the neighbor. She gets excited about the product. I gave her some samples because we have those available, of course, and told her about it. She took it, and she bumps into me later, and she's like, Ken, I love it. I took them. I slept better than I have slept in a long time. She said, I slept so well, I told my sister about them and gave her some as samples. I said, that's great. She says, I need to order some. And I said, okay, great. Let's talk and I'll help you do that. Next thing I know, she ordered them because her husband had bought some vitamins from me a year ago. And so she ordered them on her own. This is the crazy part. She bought one product and she had that one product shipped to herself. And I think the cost of the shipping that she did was almost the same price as the product. It was crazy. Okay, I just want you to think about that. That's how much she wanted the product. All she had to do was walk next door. It's my fault for not telling her this. And I'd have given her the product that I have. I had a little pantry inventory. I'd have given it to her with no shipping. And I told her, for the future, please don't do that, because I can, get you the product for significantly less because we're neighbors and I place orders all the time, and I'll just order one extra and you just pay me and you can have the product.
Mhm.
And but my point is, there was somebody who saw the value, right? Had the need, saw the value, tried the product, and was super excited about it, and didn't need any more conversation from me or anybody else. And that was a happy client who was excited about what she had, is already talking to other people about it. And that's that recurring customers. That's that relationship focused business model, one to many. And that's part of the community. And I know you're going to talk about this, but that's part of.
Before we leave, I want to get to the build a team,
Okay.
because that is where you leverage. Imagine that recurring customers and the relationship focus with these customers, and now you have a team that have customers with relationship with them and recurring customers. If you're taking care of 20 customers, but you have a team of 100 people, it's 2,000 customers being served, and there's a compensation plan that will pay you for all those sales. You see, and that is something that you don't get in other models. And the other comparison I want to go through is about the support. In most of those opportunities, the support is based on what costs me less to support you, a video, an FAQ website, things like that. Here you have Amway supporting you and supporting your people. So when none of your people have a problem, they don't have to call you, they can call them, and the customer service help them. If one of your customer has a problem, you can help them, but they can call the company and the company can help them. But not only Amway, the people in your community, the people who are helping you, they're gonna help you to skill up, to learn new things, to learn how to sell. People say, I don't like to sell. Of course you don't like to sell. You don't know how to sell. You're
Right.
embarrassed. You are
You're not
um,
prepared.
you're afraid because you don't know. Okay, I don't know how to tame a lion. I will be very, very, very afraid of getting into a cage with a lion. But these guys, there are some guys that does that for breakfast. So there are a lot of things that you don't like or that you feel afraid of. That the only thing, but are good for you. The only thing that you need to know to do is learn about them, learn how to do them, and mentorship. If there is a way to have a shortcut for success in life, is mentorship. I believe that is the only shortcut in life for success. And this is because when you have a mentor, you have a person who will tell you what is the fastest way to do something. What is the fastest way to change your attitude? What is the fastest way to look things in a different way? What is the fastest ways not to lose money? What is the fastest ways, and on and on and on and on. So when you're in a situation where you have a mentor that if you win, he win or she, wow, that is a very unique opportunity. So finishing,
And
let's
well,
go.
can I add on to that? So somebody would say, so help me understand this. So we have a business that has great products, and all businesses need products. So we have a great bit. We have, some businesses' products are services, others are physical products. Ours is products. You want a business that has the ability to take advantage of leverage, but you want it to be low risk, right? So we talked about why you and I believe, and many of the people on this evening would say that that's what's attracted them to this business model. You can be your authentic self. You can focus on things that you have a passion for. Um, here you are talking about muscle multiplier, which is the very specialized formula of amino acids, which are really helpful for building muscle. And you could talk probably for an hour about that. I just briefly mentioned this thing with sleep gummies, and I did pull it up because I couldn't. I wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong, but it's a combination of you mentioned it, melatonin, passion flower, and a little bit of magnesium, and it's this blend that helps do that. But the part that is interesting here is when you're talking about mentorship, you're talking about the ability to help somebody to, you can give them information. If they're a customer, you can give somebody who's an associate of yours, a teammate, information to help them grow. And here's that part that you just mentioned that I think is powerful. you're not building your competitor. You're building a teammate, and when they succeed, you succeed. When they make money, you make a little bit of money. If they make a lot of money, you make a little bit more money. You don't succeed with them if they don't succeed. So there's incentive to help them to be successful. When they're successful, you get more leverage. And then as
Exactly.
you build an organization that does more and more of that, um, everybody benefits. And that is not normal.
Yep.
That model is not out
By
there.
any means. By any means. And I tell people when they tell me about the business, I say, you know what? When you refer to our business, to what we do, just as a business, you're not doing it a good service, because think about this. Think about a chair with four legs. You have the business, but with that business, you have a community where you are going to be helped. You have a support system. Okay, people who are like you, growing, looking for ways to be better, to make more, to have more control on their lives, willing to try new things, positive, a positive way of living.
Mhm.
Then you have the educational system, a real educational system to grow yourself, to make sure that you are going to spend the rest of your life um, widening your vision, widening your perspective on life, getting better on a lot of skills that will give you a better life, like communication, like patience, like read people, read
Success.
body language. Okay, and you have mentorship. Man, this to talk about this as a business is like you're talking one fourth of the full thing. Of course, the most important is the business, because we want to make money, so to be better. But without the other three, the business is not as good as it is. You see, it's a combination that is very. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I don't like to say that there's no other way, because I don't know everything, but
Well,
I haven't seen it.
and like we've said, there are definitely other ways of making money. But what we have found is that for normal people, and I consider myself more or less a normal person. When I got started in this, um, and as I started to see and understand it, I didn't have the ability to I didn't have expertise in this area. I didn't have the ability to invest in something so that I gained leverage through, a huge amount of capital. I wasn't prepared to be risky. You know what I mean? The list kept going on. I
Mhm.
wasn't in a position to um, to do a lot of these other ventures that are out there. I was just thinking to myself, I have a little bit of time that I can devote, that I'm willing to devote to this. I got a lot of other responsibilities, and a lot of other things going on in my life. Let me check into this. And my family was already involved in it, and I saw some of the results, and so I understood that it worked. So I had an unfair advantage in that respect, because a lot of people get going in this and they wonder if it works. Well,
Mhm.
if you really get serious about this, you'll see it does work if you put in the effort and the work, and you begin to work through the issues that you'll have to figure out in order to get the momentum started. But I didn't mean to break your concentration there. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. And we're finishing. We're finishing. I want to go over the independence equation from the Amway perspective. The
Okay.
desire for more is not about our business. It's about you guys, the people who are here. If you're here, it's because you have that desire for more. It could be more time. It could be more money. Some people tell me, I don't need more money. I make good money. What I need is time. No, man, you need money, because that is the way that you can buy your time. And you need to make more money here that you make in your business or in your job, so you can you stop needing that money and live on this. So that you have, when you talk about an opportunity for extra income, imagine an opportunity where you're making around 20% on your sales, but at the same time you are making differentials on the money, that on the percentages that the people that you bring into the community are making. So we've been checking the other day with some playing with some Excel, and a person with a 10 people, 15 people group, everybody moving around $500 a month worth of products, they're very close to $1,000 a month, 1,200, 1,000. Okay, when you get when if you raise that number to 50, 60 people divided in like 12 teams, 12 different teams. Some teams have two people, some others have 10, some others have eight, five, six, 50 people divided in 12 teams. You're looking at 70,000 a year to 60 something thousand a year. So I don't know how long it will take you. I can't promise that you will do that, because that will depend on you. I can promise you that you won't be alone. That I can promise. But I can not say that you are going to commit or to be interested enough to make that happen. It takes a lot of time, less than most of the things that you have tried before. It takes effort, of course, but well, nowadays with all the technology, a lot less than you were used to do before. Only 5 years ago, I used to drive 5 hours at 2 p.m. to Tampa, talk about this, and at 10 p.m. go back to Miami, because I don't like to sleep out of my bed. I like to be near to Michelle on every night. So I used to get home at 4 in the morning. Now you do a Zoom meeting with a guy in Tampa. You see, so you can. It's a very interesting opportunity of make extra income, and there's no ceiling. Okay, and when you talk about putting a skin in the game, it's amazing to put skin in the game with no requirements, with no minimums, with 100% satisfaction guarantee. It's amazing because you are taking a very controlled risk. $76 for a registration. Imagine that you buy the, which I highly recommend, the $200 product kits, so you can have all these products, use them, sell some of them. Okay, $276. Let's say $300. What business can you start with $300 with a 90-day guarantee? So if in the first 3 months, if you don't want to keep doing it, you just send an email. You don't even have to send back the products. You send the email and say, I don't want to keep going. I say, okay, see you. Have a good life. You see,
Mhm.
it's amazing. Okay, so and control. You decide your products, you decide your schedule, you decide your team, and don't mistake me. You're gonna work, okay, but you will see how in time, with less effort, you're making the same and more money, because you are leveraging your time. Um, I want to finish these people I know. Carla in New York, she's part of my team. I love her. I met her when she was, I will say, like maybe 18, 19 years old. She was single. I don't know the word for that in English, but she cannot stop. And now she have two beautiful kids. She's married to a Dominican guy too there in New York, and she can stop. She is a social
Social worker.
social worker, with all the certifications that you can imagine, because she is all the way in. She's all in everything she does. She's running two different business, helping her husband to run two other different businesses. But she's doing this. We were talking the other day, and because she told me, Alberto, I only need this amount. She told me the amount. I only need this amount so my husband can close these barber shops. I can quit my job, and I can only do my business, my business, and then investments. And to be part of that growth for me is amazing. Artemio, he's not in my group, but I know him for the last 25 years. This guy were doing sandwiches in a deli, and then working. I believe it was a restaurant. He have a beautiful family. Uh, he got tired of New York and moved to Florida, and he could do that. He drive his Mercedes Benz. It's like, what that came from? Where did that came from? It's amazing. And Gabby, second generation, I met her parents like again 15 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. She was like 5 years old, 6 years old. Her dad passed away, and see how she and her mother and her husband are taking their business farther. Is amazing. It's completely amazing to see how people are taking advantage of this opportunity. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself if you're ready to live on your terms. For some people, it's scary. Just remember, you're not jumping into shark infested waters. Okay, you're investing $300 at the most, 90 days satisfaction guarantee, with people who are going to help you how to make that money back in your first 90 days at the most. You're gonna be teach, you're gonna be learning, you're gonna be in a group of people who are doing the same as you. You're doing it with a 60 plus year old company that have been the number one for the last, I don't know, maybe 20, 15 years, with people with a lot of influence and um, experience, like Ken and Jen and all the people who are represented here. So you're in a very good spot to make a decision. Okay. And that is what I will suggest. Next week we have our masterclass, and I really suggest that you attend that masterclass. It's gonna be online. You can just, I tell people, don't watch that in your phone. That is too small. The best way is to connect your phone or your computer to your smart TV, so you can watch it in TV. I normally, Michelle and me, we do some popcorn, some drinks, excess, not that much excess, because then we won't be able to sleep. But we have soft drinks, and enjoy and learn a lot in our home. We don't even have to go anywhere. And I
And
really,
next week, you're going to be one of our speakers on the English side.
yes, I remember. I have to make that be.
Yes, you need to get ready for this event.
I need to get ready. I need to read all the bullet points you sent me, so I get
Yep.
ready and do all my research. Because in English I need to prepare like 3 times more than Spanish, because I need to think in Spanish and then redo it. Think in Spanish, talking in English. It's been amazing to be here with you guys today. We're getting close to the 1 hour
Yeah, my
mark.
goodness, I can't believe we talked an hour. It's a lot longer than we
Yeah,
usually go.
sorry.
But this has been
It
great.
happens when you have a sanguine.
Yeah. Alberto, thank you for presenting tonight. Listen, I know what you would probably say here at this point is, listen, if you're a guest, you need to get back with the person that invited you to this meeting and get some of your questions answered. Make sure you're checking out the products and get started. Get started. There's
I will corroborate that. Just get started. There's nothing to lose, a lot to win.
absolutely. And thanks for being here tonight. Really appreciate
Thanks for
it.
inviting me.
Man, I had
Thanks for
my
taking
camera
the,
off.
the risk.
I was not prepared to be talking with you this evening. I was I was just having my camera off, just sitting back, and then you started asking me questions. But you're right, it
I
was a
think
great.
it's I think it's more entertaining
It
for
is
people.
definitely, I'm sure for everybody else, definitely more entertaining, but great message. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on this and some insights. I think that you've given everybody here a lot to think about, and a great presentation. So, as Alberto said, next week there is a masterclass for everybody who's a business owner here. Excited to have you come out next week. Alberto, I know the topic that you're going to be covering is very cool, and I'm excited about it, and I won't spoil it for anybody. And with that, everybody have an awesome the rest of your night, a great Friday, and an awesome weekend. Thanks, my friend. Thanks for
You
presenting.
guys,
Thanks.
bye. Well, I'm leaving.
All right. We'll
Bye.
see you later. Thanks, man.
Bye bye.